So if you didn't pay attention to Cadrill's co-streams this past weekend, or my own or anybody else's, you might have missed the conversation that spawned around Flyquest video that they put out, which this thumbnail is notably changed from what they previously put out, which is over here. This video started causing a pretty massive controversy in the space as people started conflating it with the co-streamers are bad for the ecosystem beyond. Some people really liked the Flyquest video, some people really did not, including Cadrill.
When you're talking about such an important and serious topic, it is crazy. For then other people in the industry to be like, wow, this video is so epic. It's like, what are we even saying? It's 9 minutes of facts that people know, obviously used to like get interactions, to then glaze themselves.
My tweet ended up being pretty much the firestorm middle of it because I was kind of the first one to post it to Twitter. But while I originally had a video kind of like discussing my individual thoughts on this, I think the conversation that I had with Jamada to begin my co-stream on Saturday does a much better job of reflecting my views overall on this and why I think the video is still good for everybody. So I want to give you all this chance to listen to it. I know this isn't necessarily my normal style of video without like the editing and beyond, but I think it's a very important conversation that's just good for the space to have this out in its entirety. I'll come back in at the end with a really quick wrap up and some additional points I want to make, but I want you all to hear this first. So I hope you enjoy. Be sure to drop a like on the video down below and subscribe if you're new around here. Cadrill fans, if you're seeing this and outraged over everything, just know I've got nothing against you. I want the best for the scene as much as you all do. We're all on the same page here, even if we have different ways of going about that. So with that said, let's get into it. I take it you didn't like it. I got halfway through your YouTube reaction before I had to go live and start everything here.
Oh, right. Well, didn't like it is like, how do I phrase it? I think the video packaged itself as something it wasn't, right?
How did you see it then?
The video to me, what it presented to me was that it was going to talk about how co-streaming and like content creation and content creators subsequently, because that's what it started to kind of pivot towards, how their interactions and how they've been integrated or lack thereof, or poor integration with esports orgs, etc., has been poor, and in some instances, obviously damaging the main broadcast's ability to exist.
Yeah.
Which it did talk about, but it talked about a very surface level without really giving any nuanced angles or takes, which, considering it's not necessarily a personal video and it's like a video from an org and obviously the guy narrating it.
Yeah.
I kind of understand why it was a little bit watered down in that regard, but still, I think especially in the current landscape and kind of the discussions that have been going on for the last couple of weeks, and the timing of this upload, it just felt very tone deaf for this video to come out in its form without actually adding anything new to the conversation. It basically presented the problems, didn't even really think about presenting any kind of solutions, which the video is not obligated to do. But again, I think when it's packaged the way that it is, it's maybe like kind of suggesting it might, and it doesn't.
So that's, I guess that's where I would contest first. You don't think this video offers a solution?
Well, what it affect its air quotes solution is basically try and put content creators in position, content creators who care and air quotes provide substance.
Yes.
In positions to, I suppose, deliver content.
Is that not though? Like, this is, I guess, my crux and why I found it to personally be a good video. Is that not the whole crux of the argument from the org side? Or not even argument from the org side, but like, isn't that the biggest problem at the moment? Is like, if you're analyzing this from like a cause, effect, and solution point of view.
Sure.
Flyquest has an obligation in this video, in my opinion, to give something. You are a part of the problem, quote unquote. You have to offer a solution. This cannot just be an informative video when you have a claim in this. So the solution is, hey, like, co-streamers are here to stay. Like, even though we're telling you the problems of it and we're telling you the pitfalls that have happened up to this point, they still are here. We still have an obligation to make sure that we're putting our best front forward on it. And we believe that our creators are going to be a more unique angle for that. Now, is that execution going to work? That's something only time can tell. But to me, that's presenting an answer to the problem with what they can do in this moment. without obviously going into the, hey, much deeper issues of like Riot systematic issues and beyond.
Well, then, from the stance that you seem to have, would you suggest, like, forward-facing completely, that people like Kadril and Dom and Yamato and some of the other like big English-speaking co-streamers and content creators haven't, like, I don't want to say this is what you're saying, but I want you to be careful with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Would you be suggesting that they haven't or don't provide substance?
No, they provide substance in a different way. They're not tied. Okay, Dom is a little bit different because he's with C9. So like he is more in this bubble than most other people. Kadril was in that bubble when he was with Fnatic, when Fnatic gave him rights to co-stream on behalf of them, and he was part of the org. But he's not now.
Sure.
He's independent. He provides a completely different value than somebody whose objective is proxy of org. That's a drastically different situation between the two. Kadril has his own individual value. Orgs need to provide a completely different one through their creators.
I'm a bit lost on what you're trying to say here.
That
Could you potentially elaborate a little bit from a slightly different angle, and maybe I hop on here.
I guess the angle is like Kadril's not signed to an org. Kadril is an independent creator, which has its own individual goal of trying to make people fans of you independently, which is fine. I know people have their issues with that, but it's ultimately fine.
I'll jump in on that line first. I don't think that's inherently true. I would look at someone like Dom as an example, who spent years championing the LPL, right? Like that was his thing because he was passionate about the league and he liked the league.
Yes.
And I would say, and I think I do mention it's probably in the video. I haven't watched it. My editor made it for me and then like put it out, so I don't know what is or isn't in the video. But Dom probably converted quite a few LPL people quite a few of his fans into LPL fans, right?
Yeah, agreed.
Because there weren't a lot of people. Like, there's obvious like context and nuance to that happening. There wasn't really a lot of widespread interest in it at the time, right? I'm kind of thinking right before, or kind of during that period where they started to get compared at Worlds, right? 2018, 2019. And so I would say, not to say it depends for everything, but in the case of like non-Kadril creators, I think it would be really dishonest to say that they're all simply doing it for themselves. I definitely do think there will be people that, yes, like from a cynical point of view, there'll be people that just kind of do it for the sake of.
Let me clarify that, because let me be very clear. I'm not saying they're doing it for themselves at all. Obviously, we're all doing it for the embetterment of our space. Like technically, you if that was the case, you could make the argument I'm doing all of this for me. Like, and I'm not. Like, I'm sure. Like, my stated intention is for the embetterment of North America. So I can see what you mean. I don't intend it in a way that like everybody's inherently selfish. What I'm saying is the byproduct is that when you are not tied to an org and you are doing all this, even if you have that passion, most people will tend to latch onto you as an individual. That's just the natural effect of it afterwards. Versus, there are many fans over the last year and a half that tune into Dom's co-stream, and it's a different audience because now he's seen as the proxy of C9. I'm telling you, there are a lot of people that do. Like, if I want to, like, I've talked to many. If you want to see C9's perspective, you go to Dom's stream. Like, that's the community perception of it for many.
Maybe for the casuals, which I'm not super in line with, so I can't give a full-fledged, rebuttal to that. But I can hear how people, if they're more, I don't want to say casual as in it's like a derogatory thing. It's not, but for people that maybe just don't have the time to constantly keep up, like how like someone like myself or other people who are a little bit more ingrained in the space are.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I could see that. For sure being a thing. So then with like other aspects of the video then, I don't want to talk about, because I think we can
we can spend 2 hours.
Just come to the agreement that like the back half of the video is just straight up an ad.
Yeah, as it's supposed to be, in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, but this is what I'm saying. So, for me, any sense of substance, or I mean, it didn't provide any nuance, right? So,
no,
like,
it's for the normies.
that video could have had. it feels like it is immediately lost the second it starts to effectively shill its own content creator. I was actually fine with just a Grim example, but then we started going like full hashtag ad, and it was like Basil and Arya and and this person, that's what, and it's like, hey, guys, maybe if we uploaded this video like a year ago when this specific topic wasn't in the conversation cycle, cool, no problem, you know, like hashtag ad away. But I just felt like the packaging of the video, even down to like the thumbnail, right?
The thumbnail, I agree. No, I heard your point on that. I agree. Cadril should have been front and center, but you should have had Tarek. You should have had everybody else in there with
all of the
it.
people that you were talking about in that video. Like,
Agreed.
Just having Cadril, and also very specifically, I don't think I've ever seen this picture of Cadril ever. Like,
some people said it was AI. I don't know. I don't think it is.
I doubt it's AI. Like, I've got pictures of me looking evil like this. And in fact, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say I think I know exactly what room in the LEC studio that picture was taken. So I'm pretty sure it's real. But the fact that that's the picture that they used is
it's clickbait as hell. Yeah.
Yes, from the top down, it just feels a little bit grimy, because to me, from like a content creator perspective, like content creation perspective, right? I think one of the things when you make a video, any video really, is you're supposed to be delivering on a promise, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the... Let me get the video up so I don't like misjudge the title or misread the title again. Title of the video is... Oh, they've changed the title, and they've also changed the thumbnail, which is really
did they change the thumbnail? Interesting.
They've definitely changed the they've changed the thumbnail, because I'm looking at the new change thumbnail. I'm actually going to bring it up on my
Hold up, because then they changed that recently, because I just edited my video that's talking about
I sent you the search. I'm just bringing it up on my screen. They changed the thumbnail, which I think is very, 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 very hilarious. It's very hilarious that they did this.
Oh, they made him smile.
Yeah, they made him smile.
They made him smile.
He looks not sinister and evil, and low key, you know, like he's almost got a turtleneck on in the old one. Like, it's kind of crazy. Anyway,
well, at least it proves it's not AI, in my opinion, because they just took a different just took a different photo of him and just made it blurry or less blurry on the sides. No.
So I think when you're making a video, you're delivering on a promise, right? That's kind of the idea of the video. When you have a thumbnail and you have a title, you're supposed to be delivering on a promise of some kind. Like, it's not like it doesn't have to inherently be like a particular thing, but you're supposed to be delivering on a promise, right? You are making a promise to the viewer that something is going to be related to that title and thumbnail. Cadril, I think, is mentioned maybe 3 times or 4 times by name in that video.
Yeah.
It's like really kind of a passing thing. So again, even in this new thumbnail, my issue is, why is he still...
Yeah, I think if they include their Flyquest creators there on like the right side and the existing crop of creators on the left, I think non-issue.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, not to get into the minutiae of this, but I feel like it fails to do that. And it's almost, again, packaged as a information video, yes, right?
Yes.
But then it starts to tee itself up as actually wanting to provide nuance and a potential solution to the actual ecosystem.
Okay.
Right? Which, from an organization standpoint, I don't think this video can ever really be allowed to do. Like, I don't really know how to say this whilst we're technically co-streaming, and I don't want to get in trouble. So, I don't think it can do that.
Let me ask, have you watched the other 2 videos that they put out like this? I know you said you wanted to watch them, but have you seen them yet?
Yeah. Funnily enough, no, because I spent the entire day streaming. Basically, I had like an hour break, and then I'm back now. So I'll probably watch it maybe either in between these games or like tomorrow.
Because I'm warning you, it's going to be the exact same cadence to other problems with the same format, which is they state the problem, they go into like 5-6 minutes of the cause leading up to it, and then it is, what are we trying to do different about that problem at the end? And the tier 2 one, you can check my tweets on this. I called them out on it because one of the things they said in the video is just like, it's not monetarily, feasible, or like the incentives aren't there. That's a whole other discussion I don't want to go down there, and we can spend 5 hours on tier 2 incentives and beyond. But like it's this exact format. So clearly, like, what they're trying to do with this series is like they know they are a part of the system that is creating these problems, or that has them, and trying to offer their side of the solution, which to me is inherently a good video at a very casual basis. For the hardcore people, we are obviously going to be able to nitpick this into infinity because there's a billion things that they're not mentioning.
I will say, I don't think this is nitpicking. I think this is like...
No, I'm saying I'm saying overarching. I think some of the problems with this video are valid, sure, that people are bringing up. I might disagree, but that doesn't mean they're not valid. But
the way that I kind of viewed this is, I think, again, just this this is more about also the additional context of the last couple of weeks, right? Things like Cage will not co-streaming LEC because he's been busy or like just unwell or whatever it was, and then it's like, all the people that are saying, all those Cage warriors are just gonna watch the broadcast anyway. Spoiler alert, guys.
They didn't.
they didn't. So, all of those kind of different bits of discourse that have been going on more recently, and I always say this and I always shill it because I think she's awesome and like fucking brilliant. Pretty much anything that comes out of Shox' mouth about this topic is just spot on and correct. Can't recommend watching those videos like any more than I do, like practically daily at this point. I recommend them.
Yep.
And a lot of that stuff was just kind of proven right, and also through this video, to me, kind of shows how I feel like even if the intention is potentially good, like people who are in these positions that could come out and make statements, a la orgs, the overall tone is just that they're missing it. They're not listening.
I guess
so
my
jarred.
takeaway is just very different from on it. I don't, because I just don't get I don't see the harm that others are saying that this is doing. I think bringing any sort of, like, we can all disagree, sure, but I think bringing attention and spotlight, which ultimately this video is now going to do by proxy of this. All press, I continue to believe, is good press, unless you're Whippo and talking about things you really shouldn't be. Like, this is going to bring more eyes on the conversation from a casual crowd, because that video is aimed for a casual crowd. And if it helps us get to a solution, which they're putting their part, we can disagree with it and have better solutions in place if we want.
Well, I mean, it's basically just like, hire passionate people.
I mean, is that not the truth?
But the thing is, what are the people that are in these positions right now not passionate? Are they
not for the orgs? No, I will sit here and bluntly tell you, nobody gives a fuck about the orgs.
Well, respectfully, a lot of the orgs need to give a fuck about their investments and the positions that they're in.
I agree.
That goes very high, so it's a road that swings both ways.
I agree.
So as far as I'm concerned, because the orgs are the ones in, like, they're bought in before the people that we're talking about that need to be hired and have passion. We need to talk about the managers and the people who are making these hiring decisions in the first place.
Agreed.
A lot of them are sat on their hands doing fuck all. So
100%.
I would always go to the highest of the high first before I'm talking about content creators, or I'm talking about co-streamers, or I'm talking about social media managers or whatever it is. Like,
sure.
You always peck at the person who has set up the system in the first place.
Agreed. Right? So we all agree that Riot's the one that fucked it up from the jump on that.
Yes,
front.
100%. Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The thing I would say to that, and this is just my unique perspective on it, is working in the corporate world, I understand that. And I 100% agree. The problem is you cannot control anybody's actions but your own. I cannot get orgs to make better decisions. I cannot get Riot to make better decisions. I can try and force their hand myself with my own actions, but that's the only thing that I can personally do. And that's going to be the perspective that I always take, is like, what can we as fans and as individuals outside of the system do? And that's live through our own example. So when I say that, like, yes, orgs, I think, need to do a better job of hiring, and there's not passionate people there around the teams, I think we can, from the outside in, force Org's hands a little bit more. We can't force Riot's hands. That's just that's a black cloud that I'm not touching. But you can force the
low-key
Orgs.
you can, but I don't want to get you in trouble.
No,
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want. Also, we're getting into the draft, so we only have a limited amount of time here. But no, look, I agree. If we want to go to the top, you could go to the top, which I consistently have, and I think you have, and mostly everybody else in the space has. Like, we all call it out on a pretty consistent basis. But there's only so much you can do about that.
Yeah. No,
like in terms of actions, like I'll complain about orgs until the end of time, but then at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna release the 20th video complaining about it, or am I gonna host a watch party here in New York and try and get fans to do something or play like a rec league to get more involved with the game? Like, what can I tangibly do to affect change? And as it's shown over the last 5 years, just voicing an opinion online is not enough.
Yeah, no, I mean it has to be community wide, right? That's the thing. I don't want to get too far into it because now we're already in pick ban, but like, the thing that really makes Riot turn their head is the financial side, right? So getting some kind of response there, like from a broad level, and the esports like community is realistically like it's not really a big slice of the pie. That's super engaged. It's very difficult to do that. All right, well, I'm gonna go because drafts are practically almost done.
Any chance DSG wins this series or no?
It all depends on C9, bro. I'm not gonna rule anything out. This C9 team right now are willing and very happy to lose games on whims, on single mid waves.
All I'm saying is if Kryra can show up today, which he has not in the LCS stage for the past 2 weeks, we might be talking about a different result. But if that doesn't happen, then who knows? All right, thank you, man. Don't let me waste any more of your time.
No problem. Yeah. All good, man. Have a good afternoon. Have a good co-stream, bro.
You too, man. See ya. So the one thing that I do want to note on that I don't think I touched on in my conversation with Jamada, but is very like personal to me, with what I think Flyquest did really good was talk about the value that us smaller creators need to try and be thinking about in terms of what we drive as individual co-streamers like myself, or whether you're on behalf of an org or beyond, the value that you're pushing to the space. Because let's be honest, like just doing what Cadril and others do in the space, and that's nothing against them, it's great what they do, but we need people to push the scene further and add value in different ways that hopefully at some point can be monetizable to the point where it helps lead all this to a much better place going forward, especially when LCS viewership's at, like 50,000 average right now. It's not good. I think this video did a good job, at least for me watching it, of seeing where creators should kind of be pushing themselves into the future. And I know it's not an angle that Cadrill's going to see because obviously he's kind of made it and it's like a different optic that you're viewing it from. But that's why whenever I say this was a really like good video on the creator economy, I think if you're an upcoming creator, you should listen to this and like really take it to heart and see where you can show your individuality. Again, I know it's going to be a unique perspective, separate from all the co-streaming talk, but just one that I wanted to put out there. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you again, and I'll catch you on Wednesday's video for the Harbor, the Pit, and beyond. Many more conversations to be had on co-streaming. Trust me, it'll keep coming up.